Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Unity Consciousness. Today we'll be discussing the energy that will be with us this week, beginning today, the 4th of July, and moving through the weekend. And if you are in the United States, happy Independence Day to you. Next week we will have our second hit of our Pluto return. Basically, Pluto returning to the exact degree that it was at the time the Declaration of Independence was signed in Philadelphia. So anyway, that's next week. Let's stay on this week. This week we've got two planets, the planet Mars and also Mercury, changing signs. Currently, as of today, Mars and Mercury are both in signs where they feel very comfortable. They are stepping out of their comfort zone tomorrow. Both planets tomorrow will be shifting into areas where they're not quite as comfortable. So let's break it down. Mars is going to be moving from Aries to Taurus. So this takes us from very I am energy, very confident energy, into having the will and wherewithal, again, action, taking action to stabilize ourselves in what we would consider a very outwardly chaotic environment. Some of the outer planets, not all of them, but most of the outer planets are reaching aneretic degrees of the sign that they are in. And when that occurs, it really has an influence on the collective. So with Mars being a personal planet, and Mercury being a personal planet, the four planets that are, excuse me, personal planets that help guide us individually, with both of those signs, both of those planets changing signs from comfort to uncomfortable, and having the outer planets, several of them in aneretic degrees, tells me that it is time, especially with Mars and Taurus, it's time for us to find stability and grounding in an environment where the exterior or the collective may be very chaotic or very different from how you want to feel. And because Taurus speaks of the five senses, it will be important as we move into this energy to ground yourself in a way that allows you to be present. It speaks volumes. Again, it speaks volumes of a book, if you haven't read it, by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. It is just it's a fabulous book. It will walk you through, literally walk you through how to be present in the now. I would suggest, if I can do so, if you don't mind me doing so, I would suggest the more you can be present in the now as we move through some of these transformations of the summer, the better off you will be. Well, Mars is going to give us the tools necessary in order for us to create a little bit more stability and presence in our lives, and very, very much using your senses. Okay, so if you find things being chaotic, use your eyes. Look at what's happening from a nature standpoint. The beautiful green surroundings that we have, just the birds. I was listening to birds this morning. They are abundant and plenty. These are the themes that Mars is going to help us really tap into, that Taurus grounding energy that is very sensual relative to the five senses, to help us kind of navigate some of the straits of these outer planets and the chaotic time that we find ourselves in. And then Mercury is going to be moving from Gemini, its sign of rulership, to Cancer. And again, it's not as comfortable. Mercury is not nearly as comfortable in the sign of Cancer as it is in Gemini, but it is much less scattered energy. You'll find yourself, especially it's Mercury, so it's communications and thoughts, being much more emotional. Cancer energy is very emotional energy, typically surrounding our family or who we consider our family. It may not be blood family, but those that we feel akin to, and also our home. So allowing our emotions to drive communications and thoughts are going to be prominent during this cycle of time while Mercury is in Cancer. Then on Saturday this week, we have another shift of energy. Mercury in Cancer is going to square Jupiter in Aries. And Jupiter in Aries is very confident energy. And Mercury in Cancer, we just spoke about that. So that's allowing your emotions to drive your communications and your thoughts. So be mindful on this day. Again, it's Saturday. Fast moving energy. Mercury does move rather quickly, so this energy will come in, and like I said, it should keep moving pretty quickly for us. But it is very emotional words and communications, and they're energized by that I am confidence that we may have. This is a cardinal energy square, so two sides that feel like they're taking the lead, they know what's best, and then butting heads. And unfortunately, when you speak for the sake of just speaking without speaking for the purpose of communication, and also then listening for the purpose of understanding, when you're so busy trying to get the words out and speaking that you really don't take a break to hear, there's not much communication that's going on. So this is more of a venting type energy to me than it is solid communication. So just be mindful on this day if you find yourself just going above and beyond when it comes to speaking for the purpose of hearing yourself talk. You might want to take it down a notch, or if there's somebody that you're around that is absolutely doing that, just take a couple deep breaths. This energy will pass relatively quickly. That's all I have for you this week. Have some downtime as best you can. Enjoy the holiday if you are in the United States. Next week, we do have some intense energy coming in with that full supermoon in Capricorn, and Pluto is aligned with the moon at that time. And this really, truly is a summer of transformation. The energy will just continue to build. We've got the second hit of the Pluto return next week, the day before that intense full moon, but that energy will be with us at the time of that full moon. And the other thing I would like to discuss with the outer planets, several of them being at anaretic degrees, and we're sensing this change, we're feeling this change, and be mindful that fear-based thinking does not really allow us to take a step back and get a greater understanding of the bigger picture. And reactivity doesn't really serve you well at that time. And when we have the ability to heal some generational wounds, then compassion will certainly rise to the surface. But that starts with listening for the purpose of hearing, and we can really work on that this week with Mercury going into Cancer. If things get a little crazy, more so next week than this week, but even still, this week, if you have some time when things just are a little bit too monotonous and crazy for you, just be in the moment. I strongly suggest the Eckhart Tolle book, Live in the Now, or Being the Now, and the more you practice that, the more peace that you will certainly have in your life. And breath work, focus on your breathing when things get a little crazy, and that'll also see you through. Well, have a fabulous week. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please do click the like button. And if you would like to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. And if you have others that you feel may be helped by this video, please do share it with them. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Namaste.